as you can see, this is the hardwood posts. That's cypress. There's a lot of cypress around. It's very cheap to get these tips from the lumber business, the lumber trade here. So you can get nice cypress posts. It's a very good building wood, cypress, because it has a natural resistance to bugs. It's quite lightweight. It's hard. Here you can see the maguey. This is the maguey fiber. These are tying. This is the Mexican weeping bamboo. This is one with a solid core. You can see there's no hollow in it. We've also got bits of bamboo here from bambucito, which are hollow. You can see it's got the first coat of earth and plaster on. Another ingredient that we use here for the sand is this pumice, this white stuff you can see here. Huge deposits of that all over Guatemala, and indeed many parts of the world you'll find those large pumice deposits. This is actually a much more seismically resistant product than the adobe.
It can hold tension forces, which happen a lot during earthquakes.
Yeah.
It has fibers, whereas block and adobe have no tensile strength. You actually design concrete with 0 for its tensile strength. And this stuff has tremendous tensile strength, and that's what makes it work during an earthquake.
Yeah. And they also put fibers in the plaster as well, so not only does it have the fibers of the structure, but the mud itself is actually held together. This plaster is interesting because of its ingredients as well, and in fact we use some of them in the lime plaster as well. What we use for this, and what they use a lot in from sort of southern states of the US down through to, I don't know, northern parts of South America, is prickly pear cactus. Do you know the nopal cactus? Or it's also known as tuna here, and it grows in sort of thick pads that you just cut, and then you dice them like cucumbers into sort of inch cubes, and put it in water and leave it with water covering it for a week, and that ferments, and it becomes this like oozing sticky goo. Well, you've got a wooden rafter.
Okay.
Straps going across crosswise.
Okay.
Those are pine as well.
Okay.
And in this case, and then you've got the palmer leaves on the top of that. And those vertical elements, that's the actual palm stalk of each leaf. If it's really well made, you might get 15 years out of it. If it's really, really close together and has a nice steep pitch. Notice this has got a good steep pitch. That helps the water run off, and it helps keep it drier. And the more densely you pack it, the more layers there are to it, and the longer it'll last as well. You see we've got a very strong stone wall at the back. That's to protect from landslides. Adobe in the walls and the fill over there. And upstairs it's mostly wood. It costs all in about $55,000 for the whole thing, including all the landscaping of the garden and fencing it. Innovation I came up with to try and avoid having to make concrete footings. There's no concrete in this at all, and often with bamboo what people do is cut a little hole in this node and pour in the concrete into that, and where you've got the pin and the steel underneath, it all sets in concrete and makes a reinforced concrete joint. But there's a problem with that with bamboo, because it's gradually drying. It takes about 4 years to dry completely. If it sets the concrete inside, it's solid, it won't change shape, and the bamboo keeps on trying to shrink. It actually cracks significantly around that. They use a lot of the water for planting. We planted food forests here. So all in all, it's about 25 quarters, no, it's about 30, which is about 5 acres of land. And it's all along here and up, and all along around there, and it's also got a piece on the plateau up there. And we planted a lot of fruit trees, there's a big movement in permaculture now towards food forests. A lot of people, it's very fashionable as well. It's actually hard to do it well to get enough food from it, but the idea was that this is a semi-sustainable system with a lot of natural building. So she wanted to build with natural building. This is a yoga and permaculture project where she hosts permaculture courses and yoga courses and other related things too. So we've been developing here since 2010, and we started by planting this slope with fruit trees, and then we developed this slope over here, and we were gradually building. We've got a baharepe house, a bamboo and adobe house, a cypress house. We've also got this. This is the sort of strong room. This is the concrete place where we store all the tools. And it's built right up against the rock face. Sauna.
Oh, really? Okay.
Sorry, temazcal is the local word for it, and or tu is actually the real word. Tu, yeah. I taught a lot of bamboo technique to them through this build, and I try to do that as much as possible, as much on-the-job training for them as possible.
Ritual sublime de los cocamois, en la rueda de la cumbia se despedía.
Yeah. It holds the nighttime temperature during the day, and then the daytime temperature during the night. This will feel warm at night.
Que ahí morían, en la paz de la cumbia, en la paz de la cumbia. Cumbia, que vive el amor, cumbia, con más agresión, cumbia, la paz y el amor, cumbia, que vive el amor.
And it's all solar heated water. It's got no cement in the water, and it's all mud.